And periodically I'll teach an in-person class, but one of the things I wanted to do was to try to fix some of the problems that I see. First of all, communication. Second of all, constant emails for the same questions over and over and over again. So the first thing I decided to do was add Twitter, and I added Twitter to kind of semi-simulate what I call focus assignments. So at the beginning of every class when I was in person, I did something called a focus assignment. What that did was I got everybody in the door on time. They got 5 points, quick questions that reviewed the material from the last class, and the idea behind it was if they didn't get very good grades, then I knew that I didn't present that material to them very well. And so my goal was to try to semi-replicate that, and also to just kind of, they read, I don't even think sometimes they read those announcements in Blackboard. So I thought, oh, with Twitter, because a lot of people tweet all the time, this would be a better way to do it. So what I started out doing was, like you can see it says exam, 1 ends tomorrow, best of luck, knock it out of the park. And then I would ask little questions. Don't forget to tweet your answers. What is the octet rule? How many electrons does sodium need to be stable? So the idea behind it was to just try to get them constantly thinking. And I did like 2 to 3 every day. And then the next day I would answer them. So what I found was some people were tweeting answers, most of it, however, not at all. So next year, I found it, the other thing I found is as I continued along, I decided, I think I'm going to try and hit those objectives because the grades weren't very good. So we have a set of objectives for each unit. So I would go and I would literally go in and I would hit every objective and I would ask a question based on those objectives. Then I got towards the end of the semester, I started really asking questions basically that were straight from the exam. You know how they always say, your stuff is never related to the exam. Well, I basically said questions that were word for word off of them. What happens in metaphase? How is it different in meiosis? What is the base pairing rule? What are the 3 different types of RNA? Hashtag functions. So the idea behind it was to get them going. Well, initially, only about half, 50% and 47.2% didn't. So 50% I signed up for Twitter. This was at the beginning of the semester. 47% didn't sign up at all. As they started to hear, like I would answer the questions on their homeworks, like if it was based off of, because I would put homework questions up and answer them, and then they'd get them wrong. So I would say, see Twitter feed, see Twitter feed, see Twitter feed. And so I kept continuing to drive them to try to get them to sign up for this. So at the end of the day, I've had probably, after this survey was done, it's probably closer to 70-some% that are signing up and actually using it. And they asked me, somebody asked me, are you using that Twitter with questions that we're going to see? Like people actually asked me that. And I was like, well, yes, that's great. You finally noticed that you're going to see some of these questions. So I'm very happy with this. I will say it takes time. I go in every day and do it, and then I respond every day. It's not a lot of time. How would I change it? One of the things that I want to do is I want to have them pose questions to me. The second thing I did, I used these little videos. The idea behind this first look video is, on the online course, they let you in to kind of look, but not really see much of anything. So and I just did screen captures for this and then put it in. I did this because kids had a terrible time navigating through this class. I cannot tell you the number of questions I get on a continuum basis. How do you get to this? I don't know how to do this. So, and I would find myself typing these emails out over and over and over and over and over again. So I did this. And this was done in Screencast-O-Matic, super simple, and then put up into YouTube.
Contain important information.
So basically, my whole idea behind this was to guide them through
You
step by
should start
step.
with the Start Here button. This particular button will give you access to a general overview of the course. It's in black.
This is huge.
With a folder to the left.
They didn't know
Click
that you had to
on the
click on
word
this.
syllabus
So
here.
I cannot tell you the amount
That you
of
need
help
for the
this
course.
little teeny,
Including
quickie,
a course
so
calendar.
simple to do screencast-o-matic thing
Notice
did for
that
me.
the course
It
calendar
was
is
easy
created in
peasy,
Google Calendar.
so much
So that
faster
you
to
can
use. So then I decided, oh, well, that was easy, I'll do another one. We have to do a course contract. And basically, it says that you read the contract, that you agree to the contract, but again, they had no clue as to how to submit the course contract. And I would get the questions, you know, if I taught 3 sections of it with 75 kids, I would get 50 or 60 of the same questions over and over and over again about how to do it. So again, I showed them step by step, using the screencast-o-matic, how to actually submit it.
Open it. Because this is an assignment, you will need to scroll down until you see the Assignments and Activities folder.
And then finally, the other thing that I did is I added the, what do you call that, Google Forms I used to create a survey, and whether they liked it, didn't like it, or whatever. So when I questioned them about the contract, it was interesting. I thought it helped. It says 77% watched the course contract, but only 60-some% thought it helped them figure out how to submit it. So I have to maybe go back and figure out, did I do something wrong? You know, and I'm going to try and do this again before the end of the semester. You know, I might put this back up maybe today and see if anybody has any different answers. I did several of these little mini screencast-o-matic videos, and then they're all compliant, which was, again, so easy to do, so they can hear it, and then they can also, there's also screen, what do you call that? Closed captioning underneath of it, so that was easy. And what I used for that was the Dragon dictation. So on my iPad, I would do all my little screenshots, and then as I was doing them, I would talk into my iPad, and then I would copy all of that, paste it into Word, fix it, and then copy that directly into the YouTube thing to make it closed captioning. Super, and it sounds complicated, but it really wasn't, and it was definitely worth it, and I'm going to kind of try and do a few